Hello friends, we'll be discussing an illustration which is related to bills of exchange itself. We'll be jotting it down and then we'll be solving it with the necessary journal requirements and the specimen of it if required. So as you know that we are solving this problem which is related to bills of exchange. In the earlier video we have learnt about the renewal of bill. Let's understand what do we have for today's session. So I've mentioned the illustration here. This is about Ankita and Bhavika. On 1st of Jan, Ankita sold certain goods to Bhavika. The amount was for rupees 5 lakhs. They drew a bill for 3 months for the same amount. Bhavika accepted it and returned it to Ankita. However, on 1st of March 2016, she retired the bill. That means she paid early and she was allotted a rebate of 12% per annum. Make sure it's 12% per annum. We have to record the transactions in the books of Ankita and Bhavika as well. So in this case, Ankita will be the drawer and Bhavika will be the drawee. So let's start with the journal entries first in the books of drawer and then later on in the books of drawee. We have mentioned the format. Now this is in the books of Ankita, who's the drawer. Now make sure that the dates are very important whenever you're mentioning it for the drawer or drawee, because whatever dates are mentioned for drawer, the same dates will be mentioned for drawee as well. Especially in the case of retirement or whenever the bill gets matured, you need to have 3 days of additional grace period added to the actual date. So let's go ahead with the format and then let's go ahead and prepare the journal entries for drawer. Now when we talk about Ankita, Ankita is the one who drew the bill. That means she is the seller. So we have to mention the books, or rather the entries in the books of Ankita as per being that you are the seller itself. So it was on 1st of Jan. Let's start with 1st of Jan then. So the first entry that was mentioned was on 1st of Jan, which is for Bhavika account debit to sales account for 5 lakh amount. Now the second entry will be bills of exchange that has been drawn, which is for the specifications that has been mentioned here for Bhavika. That means a bill was drawn here. So bills receivable account debit because it is an asset for us, and to Bhavika account because that amount is supposed to be paid by Bhavika. Now on 1st of March, this bill was retired a month before the time, because if you consider 3 months from Jan, that should have been April. That means 1st of April, or rather 4th of April should have been the date, but she did it a month before. That means 1st of March. So we have to give a rebate of 12% on it. Now let's calculate how much is the rebate here. So 12% on 5 lakh gives you 60,000 per annum. For 1 month discount that you have to provide, that is divided by 12, it will give you 5,000. That means you have to give a 5,000 discount. So in total you received 4,95,000. Now here this marks the closure of the drawer account. Let's prepare the same thing for drawee account now. We prepare the format for drawee account as well. Let's start with the journal entries and explain it to you one by one. So the first transaction that has been mentioned here is purchase account debit, which is to Ankita account for 5 lakh rupees. That's a purchase transaction. Now you have to think of as you are a purchaser. So that's how the entry will be pasted, or rather paste or posted here. So that's how the entry will be posted here. Now the next entry will be how we go ahead with the bills receivable. That means here it will be bills payable for the buyer. Again on 1st of Jan, this bills was set up or accepted by Bhavika and sent it to Ankita. Debit the receiver, Ankita account debit to bills payable because it is a liability for you. You have to think as you are a purchaser of this. Now on 1st of March, you will go ahead and pay the bill, but you will also receive an income, which is the rebate. Now these are the journal entries that will be passing. So the last entry that we have passed is bills of exchange that was credited earlier while opening it up. Now when you have closed it, it will be debited, and it will be on the two side the bank account, because bank is going out, or rather cash is going out from your bank, hence bank account is credited, and the income that you have earned, that is rebate, will be credited here for 5,000. So this is how the journal entry is supposed to be passed whenever the question of rebate comes in into your exams. So make sure these are the journal entries that you pass, and this is how you go ahead with the problem solving attitude towards it. So I hope this video gave you a clarity about how to go ahead with the rebate question, and especially when the retirement is in part. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned with Ekeeda and keep subscribing to Ekeeda.